feared for the power of her mind, worried about what she could find.
Hello Taurus, this is a timeless reading for you. Your reading starts with the card Weight, followed by Irresponsibility, Infinity, Big or Elephant, Past, and Imagination. I feel like you might soon have a huge realization about something where you felt like you were stuck in it forever. Maybe a few years ago you felt like you would soon come out of this situation, you were still hopeful, but I feel like there's some kind of resignation here. Like it's not actually waiting anymore. You know, when you are waiting, you know that at a certain point something will happen and you are waiting for that to happen, but you know it will happen. But now it feels like you're not even waiting anymore because you lost hope that something will happen or change or, arrive. And I feel like this irresponsibility card, there is something at the same time that is playing out. On one hand, that you are not aware of, and on another hand, there is something that you are already aware of. Something in the background that you are not aware of is that there is someone or several people around you. Could be close friends or someone from your family, but it could also just be distant people that you know these people, but you are not in a close relationship with them. There is something extremely ignorant and irresponsible going on. It could literally be a weird love affair between people who shouldn't have that kind of thing with each other, even something involving a child here. But for most of you, it is something different. But someone here is causing a lot of chaos and mess, and they haven't reflected on that, and it will probably come out sooner or later and then cause a lot of pain and maybe even horror. But I feel like you are also not yet aware of this happening behind your back. And I don't feel for all of you like this is going against you or this involves you. I feel like it's just something you're not aware of and it doesn't really involve you. It's just people you know, but you don't know how they actually are behind the curtain. And yet I said there is also in this irresponsibility card something that I'm feeling here that you are already aware of. There is also some kind of resignation regarding some people that you perceive as very irresponsible and very ignorant. And you could have been, or you were, rather this way, this person here, shouting at them, trying to make them become aware of a dangerous situation, but they just wouldn't listen. But you stopped doing that. You are not doing this anymore. You are in this resignation and waiting, but you're not really waiting for them to change anymore. I feel like you have already withdrawn and accepted that they will never listen. But you know what will happen to someone. You already know it. It's just a matter of time, and they don't get it, and you can't help them. So that's over. There is something about that here as well. And with the Infinity card, I feel like it just literally means that you, at this moment and in the past, you feel like it will never end. You will always be stuck in this waiting room. But yet the Infinity card has a spiritual meaning and a message here. And I feel like there is a spiritual teaching for you in all of this. And then you can step into a positive kind of infinity where you can feel spiritually safe or even physically safe. And being isolated in that waiting room, realizing you can shout as loud as you want, no one will hear you, no one will wake up, you are entirely by yourself. There is a great lesson in all of this. that will probably even internally guide you into this spiritual kind of awareness of infinity that will then loosen a lot of fears. I have a lot of fruit flies here because it's summer, and if you don't take out this how do you say that in English, this economical trash, this the peels from the fruits and all this extra trash can where you put all the biological stuff in, you have to take it out every day or at least every second day, and if you keep it one day longer you will already have this fruit fly problem. It's really annoying, especially when they try to fly into my mouth while I talk. So here with the elephant card, on one hand this still applies to this huge realization that you will have, but I'm getting something, this is very interesting with the fruit flies actually, because the fruit fly can ruin my day in a big way. Sounds really dramatic. It flies into my mouth. It just, whenever I want to bake or cook something, it flies into the food. Like I can't use my kitchen at all just because of these tiny flies. They have such a huge impact. As an example, this could be something here that on the outside, it could even be that people perceive you as this kind of snail. Everything is slow. Like, oh my God, this person is so stuck and they're just sitting there doing nothing. There is no movement, there is no development. So it looks like, on the outside it looks like a small thing, but on the inside there is something very infinite growing inside of you, something very spiritually big. And no one can see it from the outside because it's an inner realization. Even you might feel it now and then, you might understand it. Yes, there is a purpose in that phase that I am in. But maybe you can't see the big picture yet, but this will come. And then there will be a sudden shift. You waving this phase goodbye, like, it could have been for years that you were stuck in this. And you could just wake up and it will all be over. Might take still some time. For whatever reason. So I'm not saying immediately when you find this reading, it will be immediately over. But it might last for a while. It doesn't have to, but it could. And I also see in this card, like, actually, like she's waving her past selves goodbye. But I don't know, I somehow feel like I don't want to look at these people here as her past selves, just like other people. You are also waving a lot of people goodbye. And you might not even tell them that. Because if you scream and shout and they just ignore you, they can't even see you. Why bothering? You can just leave. If you feel like someone or several people anyway don't care about you, no matter how hard you try to make them to hear you, then you can also just go. They might not even notice. With the imagination card, I feel like you will realize that you were romanticizing something, projecting something positive that might come from your own good heart into people where there was none of these energies. For a few of you, this could be a romantic situation, but for most of you, it doesn't feel romantic. Even though there's this romantic image, but actually, I feel like it's just about people in general. At the bottom of the deck we have wisdom, so I already said it. This is a huge spiritual lesson that could have been going on for so long. But it's a teaching about infinity. And then what felt like a terrible kind of infinity, like a torturing infinity, will then shift into a very beautiful kind of infinity. We have day here. So the day card often makes me feel like there's something about warmth and clarity, transcendence. Everything is easy to see through. Clear as day. And we have totality. So that says it all. I feel like there will be no more doubts. And it will be a profound teaching, a profound wisdom that grows out of it. So there is totality if there is no doubt. And we have healing. Very nice cards. I shouldn't pull too many though. So healing, I think I don't have to explain anything here. It stands for itself. We have awake, also very spiritual and wise card. Then comes efficiency and male. I feel like it somehow, yes, it still belongs to your reading, but it also jumps into a more far future here. I feel like you should first enjoy these spiritual energies. First go through your lessons, then enjoy the fruits of your lessons, the inner blossoming, the inner wisdom that grows out of it, and you just revel in that energy. And then later, when you took a break, when you have completed your healing, there will be a lot of activity. That's what I see here with the efficiency and male card. You know, I don't know, femininity is often perceived as inactive or passive, while the male energy is more active. I actually don't see it that way. You know, in some animals you can see that the males are more active, but in other species you can see clearly, in a lot of species, that the women or the females, they are very active and not passive at all. Maybe, yes, they receive the sperm, but inside of their womb so much work has to be done to make, you know the whole process. And also they go hunting, or they build a nest, or they do a lot of things. So I don't understand why activity is so often perceived as something masculine. But I want to see it in that old way here right now, like yeah, you know, the octopus in my picture here, she is very efficient. She's doing all those things, and there are two energies colliding, the female octopus and, you know, the male card. So maybe that's just a perfect balance between feminine and masculine, whatever that means to you. And a lot of efficiency activity that's coming in here, a lot of initiation and creativity maybe even as well, but that is for later, so we're gonna leave it here right now. Thank you for watching.